style, man.
I don't describe myself anymore.
Okay. How about you?
Can't put yourself in a box.
All right. And look, what scent did y'all give him today? A long while, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Whatever he had. Yeah, he stole my spray today, so.
I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Something big might be brewing in the NFL world. The fashion industry is already feeling it. And right at the center of all this noise is one name, Shedeur Sanders. According to multiple reports making the rounds in both fashion and sports media circles, luxury brand Amiri is in serious talks to sign Shedeur Sanders as their brand ambassador for the American market. Nothing's been made official yet, but sources say these conversations are moving fast and picking up real momentum. And it doesn't stop there. Those same sources say that Mike Amiri, the man behind one of the most recognized luxury labels in the world, personally invited both Shedeur and his brother Shedeur Sanders to attend Paris Fashion Week. We're talking about one of the most exclusive events on the planet. If this turns out to be true, it's a massive moment where elite fashion and the next generation of NFL talent collide head-on. Now, to be fair, as of right now, neither Amiri nor the Sanders camp has put out any kind of official statement confirming a deal or a public appearance. Reports do show Mike Amiri has been showing up in a big way on the Paris fashion scene lately, which is only adding fuel to the fire that a major announcement could be coming. But until someone speaks on the record, this is still an emerging story driven by insider buzz and industry sources. Keep watching though, because if this deal comes together, it could be one of the most talked about crossover moments we've ever seen between sports, culture, and luxury fashion.
Shiloh, he has a better closet for sure. He has a little bit more free time. Yeah, I got some more free time now. But we both have swag, you know what I'm saying? We get it from prime time. Yeah. He hates to say it, but everything he try to wear, our dad already did. So he think he be doing his own thing, but where do you think you get your swag from? I think it's just from like inspiration, different fashion, different designers, a lot of different things. Inspiration from what? From you, brother, from you.
Paris Fashion Week. Amiri didn't just invite Shedeur and Shedeur Sanders, they brought both brothers on stage, took photos with them, and sent a message loud and clear to the entire world. These two are now the faces of this brand. Mike Amiri himself stepped up and said something powerful. He called out the fact that American media spent years trying to write these young men off and pointed out that despite all of it, Shedeur and Shedeur have proven themselves to be icons. Icons of American culture, icons of black excellence, icons of the game of football. Now let's get to the money, because the number tied to this deal will stop you in your tracks. Both brothers have reportedly signed with Amiri in a deal worth $80 million. $80 million. And this isn't some basic wear our clothes and post a picture arrangement. Reports say this deal has both Shedeur and Shedeur actually walking the runway in Paris, real high fashion European runways.
It's from the streets. Pleasure speaking with
Big 2-1, Shedeur.
All right. Yeah. I see the looks. Can y'all explain them?
We are literally watching an NFL quarterback make the jump from touchdown celebrations to Paris catwalks. And you know what? It actually makes a lot of sense. You might be wondering, why Shedeur? Why would a luxury fashion house drop $80 million on a football player? Let me lay it out for you, because the answer tells you a lot about where sports and culture are headed together. Shedeur Sanders is not just a quarterback, he's a full-on cultural movement. His connection to the American black community is genuine, it's organic, and it gets stronger every single day. He represents a generation of young people who don't fit into one lane, who are just as at home on a football field as they are on a fashion runway, and who understand that how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, and how you succeed are all wrapped up in the same package. Amiri went after Shedeur specifically because of that reach. Luxury brands have been chasing authenticity for years. They don't just want to sell to the culture, they actually want to be part of it. Shedeur Sanders is the bridge between high fashion and street culture, between European luxury and American realness. He's not just putting on the clothes, he lives what the brand is trying to say.
And with multiple major fashion houses reportedly going after him, Amiri knew they had to move quickly and boldly. $80 million was that move, and looking at it now, it was exactly the right one.
Now fast forward recently to Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, goes viral, but not for football, but for how he structured his contract. He had an equity clause in his deal with Gatorade. That clause basically said, I'm not just here as a name or a body, I want part of what's being built off of me. I want ownership in the outcome. So that clause essentially just preserved his interest. And he didn't walk away with just a one-time check. He walked away with his corrected status in the contract, and he claimed his equity.
But here's where the story gets really interesting, because Shedeur Sanders isn't just cashing checks, he is building an empire. And nothing shows that better than what went down when Gatorade came to the table. Gatorade reportedly offered Shedeur a $60 million deal over 3 years. For almost any athlete alive, that's an automatic yes. That's the kind of money that changes your family tree. You take it without blinking. But Shedeur Sanders is not almost any athlete. Instead of taking that straight cash, he reportedly restructured the whole deal and walked away with a 3% ownership stake in Gatorade USA. Now, before you brush that off as a small number, really think about what that actually means.
Lose time, lose friends, lose nights, lose mornings, lose more sweat than I knew I had, but lose the target I have on my back? Nah.
Gatorade pulls in billions of dollars in revenue every single year. A 3% stake in a billion-dollar company isn't just money today, it's money for years, potentially for decades. Shedeur's grandchildren could still be seeing returns from this deal. While other athletes are spending their endorsement money, Shedeur is stacking equity. That's the real difference between an athlete and a businessman. That's the difference between having a nice run and building something that lasts long after your playing days are done. Analysts and financial experts are already saying that if his portfolio keeps growing at this pace, Shedeur could realistically become the youngest billionaire in NFL history, while he's still actively playing the game. Not after he retires, not when he's in his 40s, while he's still out there throwing touchdowns on Sunday afternoons. That is a remarkable thing to even say out loud, and it speaks volumes about the business mind behind every single move he makes. And here's the thing, the business move started long before Shedeur ever played a professional snap. He locked in a deal that had the entire sports world talking before he ever took the field. A $125 million contract for a player with 0 NFL games under his belt was completely unheard of at the time. Analysts, commentators, fans, everybody had questions. Could any rookie really be worth that before he'd proven anything at the pro level? Shedeur let his play do the answering. The moment he stepped onto the field for preseason action, Nike triggered an active player clause that was built right into the deal. And just like that, the contract value doubled overnight. It went from $125 million to a jaw-dropping $250 million spread across 4 years. And buried in the details of that deal was maybe the most remarkable piece of all, a 50% cut from every single jersey sale. 50%! That's not an endorsement arrangement, that's a full partnership. That's equity in your own name and your own brand.
This is the first time in history that a 5th-round pick has led jersey sales. Nobody is watching 3rd, 4th round as much as we was watching. But you got to understand, freedom of speech is not free. And I think what Shedeur was doing, what Shedeur was saying, what his father was saying, and the way the father has kind of engulfed his children as you're going into a league where it's like, yo,
Shedeur Sanders has sold the most amount of jerseys out of any rookie this year.
Shedeur Sanders did not go where most people thought he would in the NFL draft. He wasn't the top pick that the projections and the analysts said he should have been. And yet, right now, he is outpacing every single first-round quarterback in endorsement money, brand power, and cultural impact. While other draft prospects were stressing over their combine numbers, their mock draft rankings, and their draft stock, Shedeur was out here building a brand, locking in equity stakes, and setting himself up as a global cultural figure. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, talented players, no doubt about it. But when it comes to the business game off the field, Shedeur Sanders is playing a completely different sport from everybody else. He proved it in the clearest way possible that your draft slot doesn't set your ceiling. What sets your ceiling is knowing exactly what you're worth and having the guts to go out there and demand it. So what does all of this add up to? When you zoom out and look at the whole picture, what you're seeing is something genuinely historic happening right in front of us. Shedeur Sanders is not running the same plays as every other athlete before him. He's not sitting back and waiting for someone to hand him his shot. He is going out and creating opportunities, structuring them on his terms, and owning them in ways that nobody in his generation has pulled off before. From an $80 million runway deal with Amiri in Paris, to equity ownership in Gatorade, to a $250 million Nike contract with jersey royalties, to a growing portfolio touching fashion, food, and gaming, Shedeur Sanders is completely rewriting what it looks like to be an NFL player in this era. He's showing the world that the game doesn't start and end at the football field, and he's winning on every single front. The American media tried to count him out, the draft analysts tried to put a ceiling on him, but Mike Amiri stood on one of the most prestigious stages in the world and told everyone watching, this man is an icon. And from everything we've seen so far, this story is nowhere near over. Honestly, it feels like we're still on the very first page.